This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Since January 6th, since the very day that the insurrection took place, there has been a concerted effort to try to obfuscate from the truth, to try to misdirect the conspiracy theorists and racists and white nationalists and Trump supporters who carried out the attempted overthrow of the United States government, who tried to overturn a free and fair election. Since day one, the very first day, they claimed that it was Black Lives Matter activists. It was Antifa. Amidst the sea of Trump flags and the Camp Auschwitz shirts and the clear Trump supporters who were there, including people connected to me that I've talked about in previous videos. It was in no way a false flag operation. And there is a growing, still fringe, I believe, but growing faction of the Republican Party that gets airtime trying to promulgate this particular conspiracy theory. The right is replete with these kinds of nutterbutters who take to their platforms and try to push this narrative. I'm going to talk about two today. One is DeAnna, Lorraine, who is a QAnon ding-dong and conspiracy right-wing extremist. And the other is Bill Mitchell, who's another conspiracy huckster and grifter. Now, listen, I can't see into their minds, obviously. I don't know if they truly believe this madness, but I do know that it's dangerous for the country when the intelligence infrastructure, the domestic intelligence infrastructure of the United States has warned about right-wing extremism. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, has been whistling about the danger posed by QAnon adherents. Even into this month, we've been warned that there could be violence at the hands of these un-American clowns. And it's being whipped up by these people like these two. There are many more, but people like these two. Let's start with this appearance from DeAnna Lorraine.
What's going on? Obviously, 1 is weird. 2 is very weird.
Yeah.
3, anything more than 3 is really statistically impossible. Something very weird is happening here. And I think that we can safely assume that these are not suicides. I mean, come on, we're not stupid. We've seen this time and time again. And also, Stu, what does every major false flag event have in common? Suicides right after, right? Suicides of the survivors, of any of the police officers. There always seems, and of course, the perpetrator, they always seem to commit suicide afterwards. And I'm not saying that all of these suicides were fake or arc-incited, but it's very peculiar. And I don't believe in coincidences after a certain number of them. Maybe something a lot more sinister is happening, that obviously Nancy Pelosi and the deep state, they scripted this. This was orchestrated. And the people that they can buy and pay out to act and cry on command and tell everybody how racist this event was, what an insurrection was, they get to live. But yet the ones that maybe have something more to share, maybe the ones that really know the full scoop of this and potentially were about to come forward with evidence that debunks this entire hoax, maybe they are the ones that were off.
There's a lot there. First of all, it's filled with maybe this, maybe that. I don't have any evidence. I'm just letting my lips flap. Maybe. Also, she used a term there that is very, very common in that space among these idiots, and that is arc-incited. She's speaking about the now 4 suicides that have tragically happened among the police force, among the members of the police who responded that day during the insurrection. And arc-incide, rather than suicide, is a wild... Listen, I'm no fan of Bill Clinton, but he is not a murderer. And that is a conspiracy theory that has been around since I was a child, a right-wing nutjob kid. and believed that the Mina airfield and all these weird, bizarre conspiracies. And she's talking about statistically impossible. This person who couldn't stats her way out of a wet paper bag is trying to talk about statistical impossibility. I'm not saying all of these suicides, blah, blah, blah. Well, which ones then? Say what you're saying. Stop saying maybe this and maybe that. DeAnna Lorraine. Making your money, grifting, while talking about something that's very real in our country. Right-wing, white nationalist extremists, violent militia people, separatists who believe the government is evil. Even her, talking about the deep state. All these things are an aberration from what's normal, from what is real, from reality. The other one is Bill Mitchell. Shorter clip, get a load of this goof.
I don't understand what's going on here. Or maybe I do understand what's going on here. We had another, police officer that was at the Capitol unrest, okay, that's taken his own life. And these are young, healthy police officers with happy lives and good families. Why, and it just makes you wonder, are these guys being Arkansided? Are they being Arkansas? Were these police officers getting ready to go state's evidence to go out there and say, listen, I know what went on that day. I know we had FBI infiltrators leading this charge into the Capitol. We had Antifa and BLM infiltrators leading the charge into the Capitol. And these were peaceful protesters on the Trump side. These were not Trump protesters that were causing the trouble at the Capitol today. Were they ready to go state's evidence with that?
Were they? Was this the deal? Were they this? I'm just asking questions. Maybe you're just offering assertions without evidence, Bill Mitchell. And I retract the maybe, because that is exactly what you're doing. We all witnessed the events of January 6th. We watched with horror, if you're a decent person, with horror, the attempted overthrow of the United States government. It wasn't Antifa. So much over the course of the summer, last summer, we witnessed conspiracy theories in Clackamas, Oregon. These little towns in Oregon where the community was in an uproar and they all jumped in their trucks and went to the edge of town or whatever to try to catch Antifa, who was showing up. No one was there. These people are unhinged and dangerous and champing at the bit for a fight, for violence, for recklessness, for anarchy in America. They don't care about the well-being of the Union. They don't care about the preservation of the Republic. They don't care about democracy. They care about propping up their side and maintaining power. They care about the grift. They care about making their money. It is reprehensible. Luckily, and I'll get to this later, luckily, it is a scant percentage of the mainstream of Republicans. But like any pernicious idea, it needs to be monitored because they will be changing hearts and minds slowly, tick, 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 drip, drip, drip. That's the worry. That is why it's important to not ignore these idiots, to maintain an eye on what they're doing. I'd love to know what you think. You can leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. I'm banned on TikTok again. Again. If you appreciate what I do, if I bring you value in any way, I would appreciate you considering supporting my work here on the platform for as little as $2 a month. You can become a channel member here on YouTube. Click the button, see what's involved. Or you can go over to patreon.com/I Doubt It podcast. That's not just for the podcast. That's for all of the media I create. If you're more comfortable with Patreon, that's a good place too. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I sure do love you. I appreciate you. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.